Welcome everyone to Tripp's art class. Today we're going to be doing some work with color pencil. Now what I have here is my brand new sketchbook. This is what I consider the sketchbook of all sketchbooks. It's kind of a smaller one. It's more of a portable sketchbook, but it's a sketchbook by Stillman and Byrne. This is the Zeta series. That is the brand, and what I like about it is the quality of the paper is super thick. It does not tear out, which I like that because it makes me have to complete drawings even if I don't like them. So I have that today. Then what I have here is just a piece of cardstock paper for checking out the colors to see if they're colors that I want, a piece of scratch paper. And then here I have my portable pencil bag of Crayola Twistables. Now these are really fun color pencils, the Crayola Twistables, because you don't need a sharpener because you just twist it. You twist it when you need some more letter wax. Just twist it. So they're really handy if you're on the move or you're out places. So what I like to do is take all of these out when I'm at my drawing desk and have them all out and ready so I can pick the colors that I want. And let's go ahead and open it up and see what we are going to be coloring today. This is the illustration I just started working on. It's for fun. It's not for an art show or anything like that. And there's some text that's kind of thrown in here. There's some kind of eeriness. What I've been using for these right here are the Arteza, these right here, Arteza Real Brush Pens, the premium ones. These are water-based, so you can kind of see what they look like. And they look like these are them, okay? And there's 4 little containers of them. So that's how I'm kind of getting in this style. So what I'm going to do is try to emulate this style using the Crayola Twistable color pencils. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that exactly, but I'm going to give it a try. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this little guy right here. So for that little guy, I kind of want to go maybe go some brown. So that's why I have this little piece of scratch paper here. I'm going to see if I like that brown. So I'm going to choose some colors that are going to go with the brown. So definitely brown, that's a good base color. Then this is kind of a tan color. I'm going to use that with the brown. For brown too, I can probably throw in as a highlights, maybe an orange. So let's see if this orange works. That's kind of a red orange, which is kind of what I want. So I'm going to keep that one handy. Then for the darker tones, maybe I can do some gray. There's a gray color, okay. And maybe for the highlights, I'll throw in some yellow. So here is a yellow. Let's see how this one looks. Okay, I think that'll work. So here's the key. I'm gonna just say it right now. When we are using color pencils, the key to color pencils is to never just use one color, okay? If you want to use one color and you just use one color, it's gonna look like you're using cheap color pencils. But if you know how to mix and use multiple colors, you can make your color pencil work look a lot better. So, and what we're gonna do is we're going to color in layers. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin with the brown here, and I'm going to very lightly and gently go through and begin to color using color pencil. Now, I'm seeing this as form, a 3D shape. So I'm thinking this is the form of not a circle, but a sphere. So since this is spherical, I'm going to be keeping in mind that it's going to be darker in certain areas. Also, a key for color pencil work is to try to let people not know which way your color pencil actually moved. You don't want to scribble. You don't want to scribble. We can do that by making lighter, shorter pencil strokes. Okay. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and zoom in on this so you guys can see it a little bit closer. Then from there, I'm going to go with a lighter color. Now this is one of the lighter colors that I picked out previously. Now more of the middle area of this creature. It's going to be a little bit lighter from how the light hits it. Now color pencils are awesome, but color pencils are definitely a process. Then I'm going to think of some highlights. Here's my yellow for some of the highlights. Maybe on the nose, there's going to be some highlights, a little bit lighter there. Maybe certain areas around the face, there'll be some highlights. So I'm adding in some highlights now. Then I'm going to be very sparingly with this orange color, but just kind of throw on just a few little touches of the orange, just a little bit. It's okay if you can't even see it, but it's there. Now I'm going to go back with the, or actually I haven't done it yet, so the kind of a more gray color. And what I like to do sometimes if I'm not for sure where the edge is on the color pencil, I like to go and kind of flatten it down a little bit so I have a flat edge. And what I'm doing now is adding some more shading, some value. Now a lot of people would stop there, but I'm going to go back with the brown again. And like I said, this is a process. It's not a first grade coloring book where you just color it in once and you're done. We're going over and over and over this to make it exactly the way we want it to be. So it's definitely a process here. Okay. Add in a little bit more of the gray. Okay, from there I'm going to go ahead and look at my color pencils, maybe pull out some more colors. Here is a kind of like a, I don't know what the actual name of this is, but it's kind of like a cream tan. The nose and the eyelids to be a little bit lighter. And around the mouth I want it to be a little bit lighter. I'll mix that in here. I go back to the gray, add a little bit of shading to the eyebrows there. Let me throw in a little bit of brown too. I don't want it to be too black. Okay, I'm going to go back with this tan color. I want the hands to be a little bit lighter, more like skin. This character's pale skin hands. Now I'm going to take the brown, add a little bit more value there. Same thing with the wings. Now what you're probably noticing is, wow, this is a lot of work if you've never used color pencils seriously before. You're probably thinking, man, when I was in the 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 1st grade, it never took this long. But you weren't using color pencils as a serious artist. Now we're going to pause right there and then have our accountability code. While we're working on the ears, let's go and add some darker value. Now we went ahead and put in some very light value. We did our first layer, but like I said earlier, when we're doing color pencil work, we're not just going to do one layer. We're going to use multiple colors. So now I'm going in and adding a brown to add in some shadows, add in some value here. I'm going to go ahead and add some gray. If you don't have gray, you can just use your black color pencil very lightly. Little tip, if you like Tim Burton's artwork, one of the keys is going back and adding in grays to mute all the colors. That's what we're kind of doing here. We're muting the color. I can even use go ahead and use this color right here to add in some highlights, or even throw in a little bit of yellow, the highlighted area. Not much, but a little bit. Now I'm going to play around with some shading, and I'm going to even throw in a little bit of blue. Here's some blue. I'm going to go ahead and test it. I'm going to throw in a little bit of blue. Sometimes blue can be used like gray when we want to add some shading. Now notice so far with all my line work, you can't really tell which way I'm coloring. And that's what we want. Okay, add a little bit more value here. Now what we're going to do is do a really fun part, and that is a secret that a lot of people don't know. This right here, the white color pencil. Now, before I was serious about art, and as a little kid, I was always annoyed with the white color pencil. And it was always the color pencil that stayed fresh and was never used when the other ones were worn down, because I didn't know what this could be used as. And this color pencil right here is one of your more important color pencils because it can be used as a blending tool, as a blender. So I'll go ahead and get this one started. I'm gonna flatten it up a little bit to get a flat edge on my scratch paper. And then I'm gonna go through, and this is the part where you're going to apply a little bit of pressure. And I love the twistables, but this is where it's probably better just to have a regular wooden color pencil so you can apply a little bit more pressure. And what this does, and it works a little bit better with like Prismacolors and those types of color pencils, but it kind of blends in the color pencil marks. Kind of blends it all together a little bit. You can kind of see it with brighter colors, like right there with the nose. You don't want to push so hard that it breaks your paper, but you do need to apply more pressure than you normally do. Okay, so there I'm gonna kind of step back a little bit, look at my artwork and think, what else can I add? With the teeth, I'm just gonna add a little bit of shading on the inside of them. Maybe a little bit more shading underneath the nose. And then I'm going to add a little bit more shading on the bottom of the tail. And maybe get the tail kind of like that peach color. It's gonna be kind of lighter. Maybe a touch of yellow. Maybe a little bit of yellow on the teeth as well. Go back and kind of blend that together. Okay. Now, as you can see, I could have colored this in like 15 seconds if I would have scribbled, but I went through and I was really conscientious about every little part of it to really give it a lot of detail, a lot of focus. And that's how we're going to use color pencils in this class. We're gonna really focus. I'm gonna go ahead and close my twistable color pencils now. We're gonna really focus and make sure we give it our all. Now, of course, we could finish this in like 15 to 30 seconds and scribble, but we're not in elementary school anymore. We are older. We're not in the first grade anymore, okay? Now, if you're a first grader and you're watching this, you know, I don't even think you'll scribble because you're interested in art. That's why you're watching this video. So we're not gonna scribble. We're going to blend colors. In this class, in Tripp's art class, we do not, once again, we do not just use one color pencil, okay? For every time we use a color pencil, we're gonna use multiple colors together and we're going to blend them. That is how we use color pencils in this art class. So we're gonna push ourselves. We're gonna try to make the best artwork we can, and that takes time. So like I said before, great art typically takes a great amount of time. So we'll go ahead and end things there. Thank you so much for hanging out today at Tripp's art class, and we'll catch you next time.